Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody having a wonderful day thus far. It is Mindfulness Monday yet again. Okay, today we got a little different scenery here. We are inside. Um, the weather is not an excuse. It's a little colder than it has been these past few days here in Alabama in the low 70s. And today it got down to the high being 40, and now it's supposed to be low 20s today. So, that's not the reason why. I just didn't feel like going outside. I've been working on some other stuff in the meantime. But let's go ahead and get into this message, okay? Go ahead and pick the card that's meant for us. Not any card, not a card, but the card that we're meant to hear right this moment, okay? And this one is gonna be about gratitude, okay? So being thankful is not always experienced as a natural state of existence. We must work at it, akin to a type of strength training for the heart. Mm. let me let me say that one more time. Two more times actually. Being thankful is not always experienced as a natural state of existence. We must work at it akin to a type of strength training for the heart. One more time. Being thankful is not always experienced as a natural state of existence. We must work at it akin to a type of strength training for the heart. Man, that's a great quote right there. I like that. I like that a lot because, first of all, we all come into this world not knowing nothing. We just are. We're being. And along the way, we learn certain things, right? We're given certain things. We might have to earn certain things, right? But I love the way that it brought it down to, training akin to like a type of strength training for the heart, right? You have to be able to train to be thankful sometimes. Because especially in this 3D world we live in, where we see a lot of materialism, materialist everywhere, and not even just the material things. So we can be thankful for a lot of things, and the most simple thing that we can even drop down to the lowest form, really the highest form, the highest gift, present that we all could get, is to be thankful for breath, life, every day, right? And then work our way up from there, right? And whenever you work your way up from there, you start to see all of the beauty within your life, and that's when that gratitude and that thankfulness starts pouring in at every little moment that you get, that you acquire. hmm Because you can see how truly wonderful your life is, because there is a lot to be thankful for, so much to be thankful for in this realm, that it could be never ending. Like I say, it just sometimes we have to sit down, pause, reflect, observe to see what things we could be thankful for, right? And that right there is training your natural state of existence into that thankfulness frequency. hmm Just like the runner, me personally, I like to run, training its lungs and cardiovascular, each and every day or every few days or whenever the cadence may be to run or walk. You are slowly getting stronger each time you do that action. hmm Example would be last week was my first time in a few months where I ran twice in a week. But the week before that, I ran once, a few miles, and just over time, I'm getting better and better. Where I'm building up that endurance, building up the strength in my lungs, my heart, my legs, my temple to be able to run multiple times throughout the week. That's how we have to look at thankfulness. Building up the strength of that existence that's within us to be thankful for everything that's right in front of us. And so, like I say, sometimes it's very difficult to pinpoint those things to be thankful for. But if you go back to the foundation, the first present we all got coming into this world was the present of breath, life, breathe, right? So let's see how we can be able to be thankful and bring in that gratitude for us this week. Write and send thank you cards for gifts, kind gestures, or the advice you have received. Yeah. Now I like this. I like this. I'm gonna say it one more time though, and then I'm gonna touch on it when we finalize this message. Write and send thank you cards for gifts, kind gestures, or the advice you have received. Right. I want to touch on the last one first. The advice you receive. A lot of the times we learn certain things. We might hear certain things from other people, and it's not really meant for us to hear. It's meant for us to share with somebody else. So a lot of the times we we get that knowledge, right? So we can be able to put in play to be able to implement that knowledge within our lives. But that knowledge really isn't even meant for us. It's meant for somebody else. hmm Right? Because in this life, we're meant to help each other out. In my opinion, I believe, I know so, right? And we're gifted. It's a gift, the knowledge. We're gifted the knowledge to be able to have that domino effect. So somebody else can be blessed with that knowledge, right? Well, let's touch on this second point right here with the kind gesture, right? And when you write thank you cards as a gift, right? Words are way much more powerful than items. hmm Especially during this time of the year. Especially during this time of the year. Words are way much more powerful than items. Receiving gifts, right? Receiving something that's, physical, right? And those words, they sit with one's soul way longer than a gift. Because gifts, they depreciate. Yes, they do. It's almost like a car. As soon as you take the car off the lot, guess what it does? It depreciates. It goes down in value, right? And over time, you might not be able to use it the same way you did once you first got it. Or over time, like I say, it might not be able to work, period. Right? But those words are so powerful. They are they're infinite. There's no time on those words when you put them together, right? Those words can last a lifetime, right? And you put those words together correctly and properly, they can be able to touch somebody else. You can cast a good spell on another soul, a positive spell on another soul, right? So with that gratitude, we can be able to implement this in our lives by writing thank you cards for gifts, kind gestures, or the advice you have received. So beautiful. Hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this message for this Mindfulness Monday. Hopefully, this message could be able to resonate with you. If not you, somebody else that you love or care about, or even a stranger. So go ahead and like, comment, and share this message so others can receive this message the way you received it, right? But I hope you have a great rest of y'all's day and a great rest of y'all's week. Till next time, y'all take care. Hey, peace.